Oh, live in the No Panic Zone. Yeah, we're still here in the No Panic Zone, fighting for you from the Foxhole Freedom every single day here in Studio G in the great compound of Southern Michigan. God, it's good to have you here and fighting for you every single day here at the Steve Gruber Show. You can always find out more at stevegruber.com. And here are three big things you need to know to start this hour. Number one, COVID relief has turned into $14 million for a sports dome in Detroit. Yeah, $14 million. That's where your COVID money ended up. Number two, the G7 summit has come to an abrupt close. Donald Trump jumped on Air Force One and got out of there, headed back to Washington. The reason, not quite clear, but it seems to have to do with the war between Iran and Israel. And number three, speaking of the war, the Israelis say that they've got some surprises that are much bigger than you could even imagine, bigger than the pagers. But let's start with this, shall we? President Donald Trump now in his second term. Non-consecutive terms, only the second time in American history that has occurred that a person has been elected president in non-consecutive terms. Grover Cleveland, of course, the other one. But 10 years ago, when he first came down the escalator, what were the experts saying then? It happened yesterday, 10 years ago yesterday, right? I think that's right. June 16th. Go ahead. Here's what they said. I'll remind you. Here it is.
I'm just really happy right now. A billionaire vanity candidate taking the escalator to the White House.
Hey, only losers walk.
Unconventional? Will people who love him love it? Yeah, but will it get him anywhere close to becoming the nominee or the president of the United States? I think not.
Can we stipulate for the purposes of this conversation that Donald Trump will never be president of the United States?
How do you even have a straight face right now? There are no words to describe what just happened.
Ed Rendell, do you have any doubt that this is anything more than a carnival show?
It's like I can't tell if this is politics or if this is just PR from a celebrity.
Oh, and who won the presidency that following year? Donald Trump. Who won the presidency again? Yeah, June 16th, 2015. He came down the escalator. They all mocked him. They still try to mock him. They tried to kill him a couple times that we're aware of, probably more, but a couple that we're certainly aware of. One that came very close. The media has been stacked against him the entire time. The entire time. And they say it's their responsibility to have slanted coverage. It's their responsibility to have slanted coverage of the president. In fact, Terry Moran just got fired for being a left-wing hack from ABC News after being there, 25 or 28 years, something like that. Terry Moran gets fired, as he should be. And he has no remorse whatsoever. Says he has no need to be objective. It's not his job, wasn't his job, should never have been his job to be objective in reporting the facts and letting you, the viewer or the listener, decide. That was not anything he needed to worry about. Really? No, really. Here it is. Listen.
My own feeling is you don't sacrifice your citizenship as journalism, and your job is not to be objective. There is no Mount Olympus of objectivity where a Mandarin class of wise people have no feelings about what their society. We're all in this together. What you have to be is fair and accurate. And I would refer to the interview with the president that I did or a lot of my work. And I would also say that this, while very hot, is an observation, a description that is accurate and true.
Mm-hmm. So I guess he's of the opinion that when you get a job, they have no ability to tell you how to do that job, especially a journalist. He didn't surrender his freedom of speech. He didn't expect, he's still a citizen. Yeah, tell that to Fortune 500 companies to tell you how you can conduct yourself, and what you can do in public, and what you can say on social media, and so on and so forth. That's such bunk. Walter Cronkite was a Democrat, but you wouldn't have known it. Mike Wallace was a Democrat, but you wouldn't have known it because he went after people equally. Terry Moran was a hack, is a hack, will always be a hack. Sad but true. You know, and it's just all part of the same pattern. Democrats kill Democrats, and then Democrats, of course, blame Donald Trump. Democrats kill Democrats, and then they blame Donald Trump for the environment that they created of divisiveness on him for his mean tweets. And when they kill each other, it's his fault, not theirs. I can't even begin to understand it, but here it is. Listen.
I mean, this is very troubling, but if you compare it to the USA in 1968, when we had assassinations of some of the most important figures in our society, and we had constant conflict and violence in cities all over the country, you know, we're in a bad place, but we've been to a much worse place, and I think it's important to keep that in mind. I think the first thing we need to do is have our leaders take the temperature down. We're not expecting to see that from President Trump. Unfortunately, he has more than anyone given the permission structure for this reality.
Oh, please.
And even what we've seen in the last week in Los Angeles, sparked by a kind of state violence, by ICE being extremely aggressive in their approach to immigration enforcement, that created a response from protesters, most of them peaceful, and then, of course, we saw some who were not peaceful, and I want to emphasize that's not acceptable. Protesters being violent is not acceptable either. But
I always got to throw that in. But that's not okay. They always like throw it in like with an asterisk at the end. Give a break. These people are perfectly fine with violence and bad behavior and divisive behavior, and mostly peaceful riots. They're fine with it as long as it's targeting Trump supporters, Trump policies. Look, these people don't want gangbangers as their neighbors. They want to be your neighbors. And when they're going to get thrown out of the country, they want to complain on your behalf, apparently, because they want you to live with a Tren de Aragua neighbor or an MS-13 neighbor or a Latin Kings neighbor. They want you to have those neighbors. Now, they won't have them. They don't have them in their gated communities, you see. But you can have them. Pretty remarkable, isn't it? Coming up on the program, we're going to talk about oil prices because oil has gone up about $10 a barrel because of the war in the Middle East. It's not a big jump. $10 a barrel, war in the Middle East. Meanwhile, counterterrorism operations. What is this Fordo action being contemplated to strike Iran's Fordo nuclear facility? We'll talk about that. And then, of course, Ivy will be with us just a little bit later today, as she always is, bringing her insight and integrity to the program. You don't want to miss any of this. Make sure you follow today on X. Follow on Facebook. Give me a follow. Join this movement, man. We're moving the needle around here. You can be a part of this big movement, all right? Global networking. It's coming up on The Steve Gruber Show.